Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let me thank Mr. Biro and the organizer of the event, Human Rights Situations in the Conflict Zone, promoting dialogue for peace and reconciliation. International Center Against Terrorism in collaboration with Forum on International and Religious Dialogue. These are the organizations who regularly host these kind of events on human rights, and the issue is that human rights in conflict zones are virtually, there are no human rights in conflict zones, because both the parties of conflict abuse human rights in one way or other, and the people affected by these conflicts virtually have no human rights. I come from Pakistan, and Pakistan is a glaring example of human rights and conflicts. There are many regions in the world, especially in Africa also, there are so many conflicts, and virtually the human rights are affected due to these conflicts. I'll come to Pakistan again, that Pakistan, the ruling military controlled oligarchy, which is led by General Asim Munir, who was recently given authentication certificate that he is the best person on earth by President Donald Trump during a lunch. I guess it is first time that a sitting army chief is invited for lunch by an American president. So this kind of democracy we see in Pakistan, and Pakistan right from 1958 taking over Pakistan by military ruler Ayub Khan. Since then, Pakistan army has created one or the other conflict in Pakistan so that they can continue ruling. Like Balochistan is not a new issue. It is almost 80 years old issue of independence, freedom. They are not terrorists. They want their land back, which is full of natural resources, and that's why Pakistan army has occupied that land. So Baloch are seeking independence. Their land is occupied, their resources are occupied, exploited, and their lives have been made miserably. Now, for example, Baloch women, they walk miles and miles in scorching heat in deserts of Balochistan to search a bucket or two of water, drinking water. This is what Pakistan's ruling oligarchy gives to Balochistan while taking away their wealth. So they are seeking independence, and there is a conflict since last 78 years since the independence of Pakistan. So responsibles of conflicts are states always, because the key to the solution of the problems and resolution of the conflict are in the hands of states always. It is up to state that how much human rights and how much control over their resources and their decision makings. This is important. So in Pakistan, Balochistan has always been in conflict. KP, due to Pakistan's Afghan policy since 1979, KP is under conflict. Sindh, one way or other, army has always created a conflict in Pakistan. Sometimes they do military operations on Sindhis, sometimes on Muhajirs, and things keep going on. Conflict remains there. Now they have a feudalistic puppet government in Sindh since last 18 years of Pakistan People's Party, Bilawal Bhutto, who is one of the biggest feudal lord of Sindh. He happens to be champion of democracy and human rights, but he is a feudal lord where people work in slavery on his lands. So conflicts are created. And then during these conflicts, there are no human rights. The second part, promoting dialogue for peace and reconciliation. Now tell me, how can you promote dialogue with someone who is always ready to do immoral, illegal, and inhuman things? For example, India has always open-heartedly hosted peace and negotiations with Pakistan. But in return, Pakistan always stepped back in India's back, and terrorists went again and again to India, sent by Pakistan army, not went, sent by Pakistan's ISI and army by design and by control to wage terrorism in India. So how long you keep negotiating with them while they harbor worst kind of inhuman terrorists on their soil? Give them protection, give them resources, give them guidance. To do what? To do terrorism with India. So how can you do negotiations with someone when he is not ready to honor the negotiations? India's Prime Minister Vajpayee went to Lahore, opened bus service between Lahore and Delhi, and many steps were taken. What happened? Parliament was attacked, Indian Parliament was attacked 26/11/2008. India's main commercial hub, Mumbai's many districts were attacked by 10 terrorists trained and sent by Pakistan's army and Pakistan's notorious terrorist organization, Inter-Services Intelligence, ISI. So how can you negotiate with them? How long you negotiate with them? So now this current government of India, even this sitting Prime Minister Narendra Modi, went to Pakistan unannounced, to Lahore, to that time Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif's house. It was a great gesture. But what happened? After Narendra Modi went back to India, entire Pakistan was on the streets, on the designs of Pakistan army, and shouting that whoever is Modi's friend is traitor, traitor, traitor. So Nawaz Sharif is traitor and sitting Prime Minister. And finally Nawaz Sharif was obliged to give resignation from Prime Ministership. And that was the last moment, because then Pahalgam, Pulwama, Uri, many things have continuously happened and India is tired. So how can you negotiate? How can you negotiate with Hamas, who agree on ceasefire and then violate? How can you agree with many things? So I think that negotiations are always and only possible if there are two equal parties and ready to honor the negotiations. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that these kind of programs will continue. This time I could not travel to Geneva, but I hope in September I would be honored to be present with you. Thank you very much.